All right, so guys, this is a problem out of 2.6, and it's asking us to solve this equation. So we have the square root of 7x plus 8 minus 9 equals 3x minus 25. Okay, so these are these radical equations. I think this is 1.6. And what we need to do here is we need to get the square root part by itself. So I'm going to get this guy here by itself. So first thing we're going to do is, and there's a minus 9 right here. We're going to go ahead and add 9 to both sides. Okay. So now we're left with the square root of 7x plus 8 equals 3x. Let's see, a minus 25 and a plus 9. Go right here. Let's go minus 25 plus 9. Oops. That's too many of those pluses and too many 9s. There we go. Negative 16. All right. Let's come back here. Minus 16. Okay, so now we get to this step. Then what we want to do is we want to square both sides. So I'm going to write it right here. 7x plus 8 equals 3x minus 16. And we're going to square both sides so that we can get rid of the square and the square root. So that's going to leave me with a 7x plus 8. Now, when I'm going to square this guy here, I'm going to write it down twice. Okay? Because that's really the best way to square something. So let's go ahead and multiply that out. That's a 9x squared. 3 times negative 16 is a negative 48 with an x. And negative 16 times 3 is another negative 48 with an x. And a negative 16 times a negative 16, I don't know. What's 16 squared? 256. And it's positive because the negative times the negative is positive, right? Okay, so now we have 7x plus 8 equals 9x squared. Let's see, that is a minus 96 with an x plus 256. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and subtract my 7x and subtract my 8. Minus 7x minus 8. So now we have 9x squared. Let's see, negative 96 and negative 7. They're both negative, so we're adding them together. 96 plus 7 is 103 with a negative. So a negative 103 with an x. And then 256 minus 8. 256 minus 8. 248. Okay. So plus 248 is now equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy and I'm just going to copy it on the next slide. 9x squared minus 103x plus 248. So 9x squared, already forgot, minus 103x plus 248. Okay, so we got some options here. One option is we can factor it. And I'm going to send out another problem in a few minutes. And I did that one by factoring. I told you guys you could also use the quadratic formula. I'm going to use the quadratic formula in this one just so you can see what the difference is. So A is 3, B is a negative 103, C is a 248, right? Okay. So first thing I'm going to do, write down my formula, right? Okay, now we can do a little plug and chug. So first part says negative. There it is. B is a number negative 103 plus or minus square root negative 103 squared minus 4 times A, which is 3, times C, which is a 248, all over 2 times, why am I putting A as 3? A is not 3, A was 9. Omar, you knew that. Sorry about that, guys. This was a 9. So let me fix that because I made another little mistake right here. This should be a 9. Okay. So minus 4 times 9. There we go. Still 248. I don't know why I wrote 9. Anyway, 9 right here. Okay. So next thing, negative and negative make it positive. So 103. Doesn't look like a pretty 3. Let's fix that. 103 plus or minus big square root. Okay, I'm going to take my calculator now because I need to figure out what's 103 squared. 10,609. Okay, so 10,609 minus, now I got to multiply 4 times 9 times 248. So 4 times 9 times 248, 8928. 28, all over 18, okay? All right, so now on the next page, I'm going to put x equals 103 plus or minus big square root. I need to subtract 10,609 minus 8928. So we'll come back here, 10,609 minus 8928, 1681, okay? So let's come back here. This is a 1681 all over, the bottom part was 18, okay? That's still going to be 18. Okay, 103 plus or minus square root of 1681. Okay, so I'm going to go second square root 1681. Okay, 41. Nice and pretty, right? All over 18. Okay, so now guys, remember, we're going to have two answers. One of them we're going to add. We're going to take 103 plus 41 over 18. So let's see what that is. So 103 plus 41 divided by 18 is 8. Okay, so that's 8. Now let's do it when we subtract. 103 minus 41 over 8. Okay, so let's see. 103 minus 41. Divide that by 8. Doesn't go in nice and neat. 7 3/4. It's okay. We can fix that, right? We go to 7 3 over 4, which is, let's see, 4 times 7 is 28, plus 3 more, 31. 31 over 4. Okay, so got two answers. X equals 8, x equals 31 over 4. All right, so now my next step is I need to come back to the original problem. So here is my original problem right here, right? I need to write this down, and I need to check those two answers, okay? So let's come back. 7x plus 8 minus 9. 7x plus 8 square root minus 9 equals, what was it? 3x minus 25. Okay, so here's my original problem, right? And what I need to do is I need to check my two answers. So let's check x equals 8 first, because that's hopefully an easy one to check. Okay, so what I'm going to do is everywhere I have an x, I'm going to plug in the number 8. Okay, so let's see. 7 times 8, 56, plus 8 minus 9. Let's see, 56 plus 8, 64. Minus 9. So 64 square root is 8. 8 minus 9, negative 1. That's what we get on that side. Okay, let's do it here. 3 times 8, 24. Minus 25, also negative 1. Okay, so we know that the answer x equals 8. This one here checks out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here. So far, I know 8's going to work, right? What we got to do now is we're going to take the same problem, 7x plus 8 square root minus 9 equals 3x minus 25. 7x plus 8 minus 9 equals 3x minus 25. And we got to check our second answer, which is 31 over 4. Okay, so let's check that answer. 31 over 4. Okay, so let's see. 7 times 31 over 4 plus 8. Minus 9. Let's do this part. So 7 times 31, 217. Okay. So 217 over 4 plus, let me think about this as 8 over 1. So I need to get a common denominator, multiply this guy by 4, multiply that guy by 4. That's 32 over 4. Okay. Minus 9. So 217 plus 32. Okay, so plus 32 is 249. Okay, so this is the square root of 249 over 4. minus 9. Well, let's see, can we take the square root of 249? I don't know. Second square root of 249. No, it's not going to work that way. Okay, so this is going to be square root of 249 over 2 minus 9. That's what that part's going to look like. And when I'm plugging in 31 over 4, right, 31 over 4, yeah, 31 over 4. When I'm plugging that part in over here, that's going to be 3 times 31 over 4 minus 25. So I'm not even going to work the rest of this out here because this piece here doesn't have a square root and this one does. So I know they're not going to be the same, right? So the only answer we're going to have here, y'all, is 8. Okay, that ends up being my answer right there. So, anyway, y'all got any questions? Please let me know. I'm happy to help.